Hello, boys and girls. It is I, your favorite Brentalman caller. And we have a lot of ground to cover in this latest installment. Now, as you'll recall, in the first episode, we went over AABA structure. Now, we're gonna go back and look at the building blocks of form. By the way, in this lesson, the words structure and form are interchangeable, like butter and margarine, or escargot and a loogie. Remember how I said form was like a sandwich or a knock-knock joke? If you don't, go back and watch this video. So, song form, right? There are a few tried and true song forms and like 12,000 variations. I want you to both master the pure forms and understand the building blocks of those forms. The basic building blocks of form are letters, and any given letter is a stanza with one particular piece of musical material. The first form I taught you was AABA. The first two A's have the same basic melody, then we go to a B, and then back for one more A. Let's try to think of an even simpler song form. What about AAA? You might be saying, but Brent, there's no such thing as AAA form. To which I say, 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. You take one down, pass it around, 98 bottles of beer on the wall, 98 bottles of beer on the wall. Kids, don't drink beer. AAA is actually like the oldest song form, which is why you find it in more traditional things like hymns, or, songs like Silent Night or Scarborough Fair, stuff like that. This form has been called unrelieved repetition. This form has been called unrelieved repetition. This form has been called unrelieved repetition because there's no relief from that same piece of music over and over and over. But this form has snuck its way into modern pop culture here and there. See? There's also an extended version of the AABA form called AABA-BA. It's just another B and an A at the end. So imagine if you wrote an AABA song and you liked the B so much you wanted to do it again, but then of course you'd have to wrap around by going back to A one last time. Two examples of this form are I Wanna Hold Your Hand by the Beatles and the song Maybe from the musical Annie, which I may or may not know all the words to. Alright, so where does the letter C come in? Well, C comes in anytime you have a third piece of music that's not an A or a B. So let's imagine we wrote a song that was AABACA, which again is just taking AABA and tacking on a CA at the end. Well, that would mean that after you got done with the first four stanzas, the AA, the B, and the A, you would go to an all-new piece of music, which would be a C. And in that way, it would sort of act as a second B. It would be yet another departure from something we've heard that relieves us from the A. There's a million different ways to look at it. But what I know for sure is that a C chunk has different musical material than an A chunk or a B chunk. Now, if you were doing a verse-chorus song, the C would actually be called a bridge. In this day and age, about 90% of the music you hear anywhere is going to be verse-chorus form. The most distinct thing about the verse-chorus form? It has a chorus, which is also sometimes called a refrain. So what is a chorus? Well, essentially, it's the most memorable chunk of a verse-chorus song. Remember how when I taught you AABA, I talked about a part called the hook?
I hate Peter Pan!
Well, a chorus is like taking an entire section of a song and setting it aside as one big hook. Notice how I'm using the words section, stanza, and chunk interchangeably? Well, get used to that, they kind of all mean the same thing. Anyway, back to verse-chorus form. There are a few minor variations in the way verse-chorus songs are written, but here's what I'm going to call the pure form of the structure. I'm going to start with a verse, then a chorus, then another verse, then another chorus, then a bridge, then an optional verse, and a chorus. Or to put it in letter form, A, B, A, B, C, optional A, B. Sure, that's technically how you'd write out the structure in letter form, but I wouldn't call it an ABAB song. There's a difference in the quality of a chorus with a section that's just a B. So we're going to leave the letters for a moment and refer to these chunks with whole words. Notice we have a new concept in verse-chorus form, the bridge. It is also sometimes referred to as the middle eight, but don't worry, it doesn't have to be 8 bars. The word bars that I just used was referring to measures, like in sheet music. Anyway, if you don't know, look it up. This is Lyrics 101, not Intro to Googling. Anyway, so verse-chorus form is a unique and different style of form from the others I've taught you because it's got an entire chunk, like I said, set aside just to be the catchy part. The reason that a lot of popular music is verse-chorus is because having that catchy part be in its own little discrete section makes the song more infectious and easier to sell. In verse-chorus form, the verses have basically the same music every time, but different lyrics. The choruses can have the exact same lyrics every time, or they can slightly differ from one to the next. Usually the thing that's the same in every chorus is the repetition of the title. Now the challenge of writing a verse-chorus song is that you have to find an idea or a statement that's so fun, catchy, humorous, or otherwise interesting that people are going to want to hear it at least 3 times throughout the song. Kind of like the hook in an AABA song, but it's longer than the hook. It's its own entire section. If you're using verse-chorus form to tell a story in a song, you might want the chorus to be either the main idea, like the moral of the story, or it could be kind of an event or a type of event that happens over and over again in the story, like a sticking point kind of thing. Now, if your song is basically just about an idea or a statement, your chorus, again, is the main idea you're trying to get across, preferably as succinctly as possible. So in general, the chorus contains the main idea of the song, and the verses either give examples of that idea or elaborate on that idea. Now let's walk through verse-chorus form using a tune from a movie that I personally love, and if you don't love it, I don't know what to tell you, maybe you should go see a doctor. Anyway, this is Under the Sea from The Little Mermaid. Okay, so the first verse goes like this. The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things around you. What more is you looking for? Okay, so a few things to notice. Some really weird word choice here, huh? What more is you looking for? But remember what I said about character. The word choice in a song is contingent upon the character who's singing the song. And in this case, it's a Jamaican crab named Sebastian. So if he say, what more is you looking for? Then it don't stick out like a sore thumb, cause that's how he talks, man. It's a really bad Jamaican accent. Also, this song is just Sebastian building an argument. Not like a heated debate, 2 people fighting argument. More like the argument you would write when you write a persuasive essay, that kind of thing. To put this lyric into context, Ariel, the super hot but not quite legal mermaid princess, wants to live on dry land so she can get her fishy parts all over the terribly complex Prince Eric. Ariel's protective father has put Sebastian in charge of keeping her in line. So in this song, Sebastian's trying to convince her that she doesn't need to go to the surface and that everything she needs is here, under the sea. And he pretty much says that in the first verse and the first chorus, which goes like this. Under the sea, under the sea. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Up on the shore they work all day. Out in the sun they slave away, while we're devoting full time to floating under the sea. It's a great song. So at this point, Sebastian's argument is, hey, you don't want to go up on dry land. They gotta get a job up there, whereas down here, we're just a bunch of happy-go-lucky hippies with fins. Whee! Now wait a second. How do we know that that second chunk of music, the one that starts with the words under the sea, how do we know that's a chorus and not just a B section? Well, the title's in it. That's a big hint. Also, it's the catchiest part of the song, so it gets in your head and you end up singing it when you don't even mean to. Under the sea. Now, on to the second verse. And how do we know it's the second verse? Because it's got the same music as the first verse. And it goes like this. Down here all the fish is happy, as off through the waves they roll. The fish on the land ain't happy, they sad cause they in their bowl. But fish in the bowl is lucky, they in for a worse of fate. One day when the boss get hungry, guess who's gonna be on the plate? Oh no! The second verse uses the same music, but it elaborates on the idea of the first one with different lyrics. The first verse of this song basically says, yeah, it seems like the grass is greener everywhere else, but you've got everything you need here, and that's why you shouldn't go to the surface. The second verse is elaborating on that by saying, also, fish on land either get eaten or they're captive, and that's why you shouldn't go to the surface. Now on to the second chorus, which goes like this. Under the sea, nobody beat us, fry us, and eat us in fricassee. We want the land folks stuffs to cook. Under the sea we have the hook. We got no troubles. Life is the bubbles under the sea, under the sea, under the sea, under the sea. Since life is sweet here, we got the beat here naturally, naturally. Even the sturgeon and the ray, they get the urge and start to play. We got the spirit, you got to hit it under the sea. Okay, two things to notice about the second chorus. First off, the words were slightly different, but do you remember which parts were the same? The hook. Even choruses have hooks. Yes, the chorus hook is like the super ooey gooey nucleus of the hook, like the syrup of a snow cone. Num num nummy num. Again, it's easy to tell the chorus hook in this situation because it's the title of the song. But that can get kind of sticky and debatable. So for right now, what you need to know is that the chorus itself is like one big hook, inside of which there is a chorus hook.
And so before.
Now keep in mind, a chorus can have the exact same lyrics every time. It's just up to the lyricist. The second thing I want you to notice about this chorus is that it's twice as long as the first chorus. Now I'm going to be honest with you, that's pretty unusual, but that's how it is in this particular case. Now what do we call it when the length of a chunk is different from its earlier counterpart? Do you remember? We add an apostrophe and call it prime. So this is actually chorus prime.
Introducing Chorus Prime. Transforms from one link to another before your very eyes. Chorus Prime, a different link than ever before. Other song parts sold separately.
So yeah, usually if you're gonna have a chorus prime, it'll be the last chorus, not the second one. But, you know, whatever, it's Disney. Back to the actual lyric of the second chorus. Sebastian introduces a new idea when he says, since life is sweet here, we got the beat here. Basically, he's saying that we have so much fun down here and we have so little that we have to do that we can just play music all day and have fun. It makes sense that Sebastian would think of that because, see, in the story, Sebastian is the royal court composer. So the lyrics are not just written consistently with how Sebastian talks, but like how the character actually thinks. Yeah! Okay, back. Okay, now on to a brand new type of stanza called the bridge. You can think of it as a bridge that takes us from that second chorus towards the end of the song. It's like after we've gone around and around this verse and chorus a couple times, we take a different path, have a little relief, take the bridge, you know, the scenic route. Remember, if we were going strictly by letters here, the bridge would be a C. However, the bridge basically acts just like the B did in an AABA song. Let me see if that can make this make sense. Okay, so AABA, right? Same, different, same. Well, let's just for a second imagine that the combination of verse and chorus are like one big mega A. So verse, chorus, mega A. Another verse, chorus, mega A. Then we go to a bridge, which, if these are mega A's, is like a B, right? So it's just the same idea of like departing, giving relief to what we've already heard before, because then what do we do after the bridge? We go back to either a chorus or another mega A, which would be a verse-chorus combo. Make sense? Okay, now back to our story about a Rastafarian crab and the red-headed hottie from the briny deep. This is the bridge, and it goes like this. The newt played the flute, the cock played the harp, the plays played the bass, and they sounded sharp. The boss played the brass, the chub played the dub. The fluke is the duke of soul. Yeah, the ray, he can play the links on the strings. The trout rocking out, the blackfish she sings. The smelt and the sprat, they know where it's at, and know that blowfish blow. So basically, Sebastian has taken the idea that it's fun to play music under the sea and blown it up into a list of all these different fish and all the different instruments they play. Won't he be sad when he realizes that humans actually invented all those instruments? Sometimes the bridge leads to another verse-chorus combo, sometimes it just leads to one more chorus, and that's the case here. Here's the last chorus. Under the sea, when the sardine begin the begin, it's music to me. What do they got? A lot of sand. We got a hot crustacean band. Each little clam here know how to jam here under the sea. Each little slug here cutting a rug here under the sea. Each little snail here know how to wail here. That's why it's hot out under the water. Yeah, we in luck here down in the muck here under the sea. Got Gosh, I love that song. Anyway, so this last chorus is just Sebastian continuing the same argument he's been making for the entire song and ending it with a bang. Notice that it's a different length from the first two choruses, but it still counts as a chorus.
But why?
While it contains the chorus hook, it's musically pretty much the same as the other two choruses. It just happens to repeat one line a few times and then adds a little bit of a coda at the end. But at the end, it repeats the title, so I mean, it's definitely a chorus. So let's review. A verse-chorus song starts with a verse which helps to introduce us to the world of the song and leads us to the first chorus. The first chorus contains the main idea of the song and some lyrical material that will repeat and usually contains the title. Then we go on to the second verse, which continues to elaborate or give examples of what the chorus is talking about. Then the second chorus, which can have the exact same lyrics of the first chorus, or it can vary them and elaborate on itself a bit too. Then we go to the bridge, totally new lyrically and musically, and it basically serves the same purpose as the B in an AABA song. And the bridge takes us to either another verse and then a final chorus, or just the final chorus. Got it? Good. Hey everybody, it's me, different day, different time, brentalfloss. So, I had no idea how long this video was going to be, but to keep things rolling and not make you wait for me to edit it, I went ahead and posted this one today. Tomorrow I'm going to post a video with your assignment, as well as a new lyric that I'm featuring that somebody sent in the last time we had an assignment. So, see you tomorrow. Bye.